Standard Gang members, Big GDK, 0659th, man. For them grade. Y'all know what it is. Ron shit. Whatever it is, gang. All gang members. If you're affiliated with them members, this it is. Then long live B-Roy, long live D-Thing, long live J-Money, Newski, LA. Free all the gang members, man. For them grade, this how we mama.
Yeah, they say like 33, folks. I'm down for the trenches, man. They know this. That's how I go. Live by the gun.
He went live like it was just another day, smiling, laughing, showing love to the people watching him. No one could have guessed that only a few days later, that same energy, the confidence, the loyalty, the power, would be silenced in broad daylight. Chicago had seen loss before, but this one hit differently. It wasn't just another name in the headlines. This was THF Bayzoo, a man who'd survived the streets, the prison system, and so many close calls that people thought he was untouchable. But the truth? Nobody's really untouchable when your life is tied to the streets. Before we get deeper into this, make sure you like, subscribe, and click that bell icon so you don't miss more real-life stories like this one. Only here on Shadow Crime. Because behind every headline, there's a life, a legacy, and a lesson. Now, let's talk about Bayzoo, the man behind the name. Born Devonsha Collier, he wasn't just some random rapper chasing fame. He was a product of Chicago's South Side, a world where loyalty and survival often clash. People around him said he was built for this life. Calm under pressure, confident with his words, and respected both in and out of the booth. To many in OTF, only the family, he wasn't just a member. He was family. Lil Durk called him brother. And King Von saw him as one of the real ones who stood on business no matter what. If you've been following OTF from the early days, you know it wasn't just music that bonded them. It was shared pain, shared loss. Bayzoo was there when things got rough, when the fame started to blur the lines between brotherhood and the streets. People said he kept Durk grounded, always reminding him where they came from. But Bayzoo had his own past to battle too. Back in 2009, he was charged with a murder he didn't commit. For years, that case followed him like a shadow until he was finally acquitted in 2017. It was supposed to be his second chance, his moment to leave the chaos behind. But in Chicago, the past doesn't really stay buried. Even after being cleared, the streets still saw him as a figure tied to that life. He was known for keeping it real, but also for keeping it street. He'd go live often, talking about life, showing love to fans, and sometimes addressing rumors head-on. Those lives felt like windows into his world, raw, unfiltered, full of emotion. You could tell he was proud of where he came from, even if it cost him peace.
Tell me Mo 600 Zoo said, come on live right now. Nigga. You, Melvin. Bring your bitch ass on live. You want to play on the internet? You want to play on the internet? Nigga, we got this shit in 4K, nigga. What, we got leaked footage or something, nigga? What you talking about? Nigga, this shit for you. Bitch, nigga, you out here playing like you crazy. You ain't crazy, nigga. Don't you? Tell me, Mo 600, bring this bitch ass here so I can holler at him. Fuck you. Stop playing on my sixes, nigga. Fuck all, nigga. Oh, them ain't nigga, this shit around. This shit around, man. Oh, that's what he mad about? Yeah, that was for you, Mimo. You know what's going on. You ran, nigga. On Kyle, I'll leak the footage, nigga. Stop playing on me on this internet, nigga.
But in the months before his death, something changed. People close to him noticed he was quieter, more private. There were whispers online about tension, about stolen watches and betrayal. Some claimed it involved Lil Zay Osama. Others said it was deeper, something personal, maybe even a setup. None of it was confirmed. But in the streets, rumors spread faster than truth. And in Chicago, rumors can be deadly. Then came that October afternoon. It was just before Halloween, a calm day that suddenly turned violent. Bayzoo was standing with two men on the 3100 block of South St. Louis Avenue when two shooters approached and opened fire. It wasn't random. The attackers came with purpose.
Hey, y'all don't shop at Amiri, man. You hear me? We just
Champagne
got champagne and Amiri water just in the cut. You hear me? Every time we finna go do something, gang, you know, we just shot our video, so I just leaked it for y'all. Video dropping soon. Produced by my boy Rick. I see you, Rick. Tell him that bitch finna be a movie. Nightmare in the Trenches, man.
In 3/4 of a mile, turn left onto Boulevard Southeast.
That bitch finna go up. Y'all fuck with that? That's the only thing y'all getting leaked from me, man. Y'all always gonna leak my shit.
The sound of those gunshots echoed across Little Village, a neighborhood already too familiar with violence. Witnesses said there wasn't even time to react, just a flash of muzzles, the panic, and then silence. Bayzoo was hit multiple times in the torso. The men with him were wounded too, but somehow survived. When the paramedics arrived, people were already recording, shouting his name, some crying, others frozen. The moment spread online within minutes. Fans didn't want to believe it. They said, nah, that can't be Bayzoo. But by the time he got to Mount Sinai Hospital, reality had set in. He was gone. And you know what hits the hardest? This wasn't some random street kid. This was a man who had fought his way out of the darkest corners of Chicago, who'd been locked up, released, and tried to turn his pain into purpose through music. Yet, even when you try to change your path, the past can still find you. It's like no matter how far you run, the streets keep a tab open with your name on it. When news broke, OTF and fans were in shock. Lil Durk didn't post right away, but those close to him said he was crushed. Bayzoo wasn't just a member. He was one of the few people Durk trusted fully. He'd stood by him through beefs, arrests, and betrayals. Losing him was like losing a part of that old loyalty OTF was built on. And King Von? If Von were still here, everyone knows he'd have been right there, speaking out, probably seeking answers himself. It's painful to think both of them, Von and Bayzoo, are gone now, both victims of the same city they once ruled. But let's not act like this came out of nowhere. There were signs, subtle ones. You could feel tension in the air through his last few lives. Some fans said he looked stressed. Others noticed how he avoided mentioning certain people. And just a few days before the shooting, he went live with people who seemed to know more than they were letting on. They joked, they laughed, but there was this weird energy underneath, like everyone knew something was brewing. Then after his death, social media lit up with theories. Some said it was revenge, that a certain group had been waiting for the right moment. Others whispered about jealousy, how success changes people and brings hidden enemies closer. But the truth? Nobody really knows. The police haven't made any arrests, and no suspects have been named. What we do know is that 2 shooters walked up, shot him, and disappeared. Just like that. No one's been charged. No one's confessed. Just silence and speculation. And as the days passed, tributes started pouring in. Nikki, the mother of Lil Durk's first 2 kids, posted a heartbreaking message, calling Bayzoo her brother, saying how much she loved and respected him. That message hit people deep because it showed he wasn't just a street name or a rapper. He was family to the ones who really knew him.
This is a no-save zone, or if we could just talk to the alderman, like, man, look, man, I can't promise you stop no wars, but I can promise you in this community, everybody that we dealing with in this community, could just stop the violence so the kids come out and play. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. That's what type of time I'm on. Like, I want to do it like that. I don't care to be stopped squashing nobody else's beef.
So when I'm going to the brothers, I don't want to say it's taboo, but the first thing I'm not talking about is brothers putting down their guns. That's not the first thing I'm talking about. I'm not saying, hey, we got to stop the violence. That's not the first thing I'm talking about. I'm not judging them or condemning them. We taught, don't judge. Just put the clean glass next to the dirty glass and let the people choose for themselves, right?
In the days that followed, Chicago felt heavy. It wasn't just another rapper gone. It was someone who'd been part of the foundation, someone whose presence carried weight. People started revisiting his old interviews and music, searching for hidden messages, wondering if he somehow knew his time was short. Some fans pointed to his lyrics where he spoke about loyalty, betrayal, and the cost of being real. It was almost like he'd been preparing himself for what was coming, like he knew that in the life he lived, death wasn't a question of if, but when, and that's what makes this story hit differently. Bayzoo wasn't trying to glorify the streets. He was reflecting them. In a city like Chicago, your environment shapes you. He grew up surrounded by people who had to make hard choices just to survive. When he joined OTF, it wasn't just about music. It was about family. OTF stood for Only the Family. And for Bayzoo, that meant loyalty above everything. That bond was sacred. You could see it in the way he moved, the way he protected his circle, and the way he spoke about Durk and Vaughn. But fame doesn't erase danger, it multiplies it. The more your name grows, the more people watch you. Some celebrate you, but others envy you. There were whispers online that Bayzoo had problems brewing outside of music. Some said it was about stolen jewelry. Others said it had to do with people close to him who turned on him. None of it has been officially confirmed. But when enough people repeat a rumor, it starts to sound like truth. And in the streets, rumors can be just as deadly as facts. The most haunting part is that he didn't seem scared. Even with all that talk around him, he still went live, still moved around the city like nothing could touch him. Maybe it was confidence, or maybe it was exhaustion, being tired of living in fear. Because think about it. How long can someone live looking over their shoulder before they just stop caring? When the surveillance footage leaked online, it shocked everyone. The video showed two men approaching, firing at close range. It all happened so fast, like they came there for one purpose and made sure it was done. The footage was brutal, but what made it worse was knowing who it was. Seeing Bayzoo, someone people admired, fall that way broke hearts across the drill community. And the police? Still no arrests, no official motive, just more speculation. Some believe it was gang retaliation. Others think it was personal. But until someone comes forward or gets caught, it remains another unsolved Chicago tragedy. Even in death, his name carries weight. People still post his pictures, still quote his lyrics. For OTF, his loss was another deep wound. First Vaughn, then D-Tang, and now Bayzoo. Each one taken by gunfire. Each one leaving behind a story that feels unfinished.
Real. All right, y'all. So we talking about THF Bayzoo and two others, man, was on the west side. And they was outside doing whatever they was doing, and a cop pulled up and sprayed. They sprayed the crowd down. They sprayed Zoo and them down, and then they got up out of there. Y'all already know that. Well, the other ones, I don't know their conditions. I know that it was two in critical, Zoo and another one. And the other one, he was like non-life-threatening injury. He was going to make it. But the other one was in critical when I checked. And Bayzoo was put on life support because his organs had failed. His organs had failed. He lost a lot of blood, due to being shot in his torso and the other area. And he was on life support. Well, the family has been told to me that the family has taken Bayzoo off life support. They don't want him to struggle no more or go through that, because the machines is the only thing that's keeping them alive. The doctors come in the room and tell you that, these machines, the only thing that's going to keep them alive. When we turn off these machines, if we turn them off, we can keep them on, though, and see if he going to make it. But if we keep him on, it's going to cost and all that. So, the family decided to take THF Bayzoo off life support, man. Bayzoo is gone, man.
And yet, despite all the pain, one thing about Bayzoo stands out. He never lost that sense of loyalty. Those who knew him say he was the kind of person who would stand beside you even when everyone else walked away. He wasn't just about money or fame. He cared about real connection, about respect. He was the type to check on people, to give advice, to remind you to stay solid. That's what made his death feel like more than just another loss. It was a loss of someone who held his circle together, who understood what it meant to have history, to have shared struggle. As fans scrolled through his old videos, many noticed moments they had overlooked before, times when he spoke about being tired, about people switching up, about how trust was rare. It's almost eerie looking back now, like he was warning himself. Try to make peace with everything that surrounded him. And when you live that kind of life, it's hard to tell who's truly with you and who's waiting for your downfall. The streets talk, but the truth stays hidden. There are people who probably know exactly what happened that day, but silence rules when fear and loyalty collide. That's what keeps so many of these cases cold. Everyone has something to lose, and nobody wants to be next. But one thing is clear, Bayzoo's death wasn't random. He was targeted. Someone made a choice, and that choice took away a father, a brother, a friend, and a son. And that brings us to something deeper. How many more lives have to be lost before the cycle ends? Chicago has raised so many talented voices, people who could have changed the world if they had the chance to live long enough. But over and over again, we see the same story. Pain, loyalty, betrayal, and silence. Bayzoo's name joins a list that should have never existed. For OTF, this hit differently. Lil Durk hasn't spoken much publicly because he's held behind bars. But those who know him say he's been grieving hard. Imagine watching people you came up with, your brothers, fall one by one. First King Von, then D-Tang, and now Bayzoo. It's a pain that words can't even touch. And it makes you wonder, when does it stop? You can feel that same question echoing through the community. Every fan, every friend asking, why him? Was it loyalty that got him killed? Was it trust in the wrong people? Or was it just the inevitable fate of someone who lived too real in a world that punishes honesty? And maybe that's the hardest part to face. The idea that being real might be what gets you hurt. Bayzoo lived by a code that doesn't work in today's world, where love turns to jealousy and loyalty turns to revenge. So here's the question I'll leave with you. When loyalty can cost you your life, what's it really worth? And how many more stories like this will we have to tell before something changes? If you felt this story, don't just scroll away. Think about what it means. And while you're here, make sure to like, subscribe, and click that bell icon. Because on Shadow Crime, we don't just tell stories, we remember the people behind them.